Hello, everybody. My name is Caleb Carcamo. I'm a student here at Texas Tech University, and welcome to my podcast, The Ones We Lost. In today's topic, we'll be discussing how, in time where social media has grown so much, that advances in technology has had an impact in our teens, young adults, entrepreneurs, and etc. I want to talk about how that has caused negative effects on our young teens and adults because it's a very serious topic that I don't think many people take very seriously, or they just kind of brush over their shoulder, or they don't look too deeply into it. And and the reason why I'm making this podcast because I want to be able to reach the CEOs of these platforms like Instagram or TikTok. I want them to hear my message and how I feel about what's going on, because I want them to know I want them to know um, who is being affected, and maybe that if I can maybe change their mind, and or maybe get into um, their heads, so maybe they can make some improvements on their um, on their platforms, be able to limit to these negative interaction, or negative negative um what you call it, these negative impacts they have on the students. Because yes, these are good platforms and they can be used for good, like promoting yourself, like your business, putting yourself out there to get your, they say you have an important message or a word you want to share. These things are good for that, or just to spread, some positivity, or just like I said, grow your business, and or just use it to just show your accomplishments. Yes, that's, in that case, is good, but people don't know the downside of it, the negative side of it, and that's why I'm here to make this podcast video, because I want the CEOs to know that there's people out there being truthfully being hurt by it. And and I'm not saying, and I have experience, personal shit, not from me, but I've seen it from people around me. My brother. I've definitely seen it in him. The isolation he has gone into, the the limit of interactions he's having with our family, being by himself, being so isolated. Um, I've seen it because before he used to, be able to spend time with family, friends. Like he used to go out with me, with my friends and stuff. He used to go with my cousins. He used to go, like when our cousins would say let's do something, he would come with us. But ever since, he's been getting more and more and more into social media, he's kind of been slowly distancing himself away from the family, away from the friends. And I see that he and I try to talk to him about it. He does not think so, but I've definitely seen it. It hurts to see, because I don't like that. I don't want him to keep, being interactive with us, because he's always in his room, always staying there, not coming out. And yeah, so basically that's come from my story, because that's why this topic is very important to me, because I've seen it firsthand, and I've done some research, um, and I've seen that over the time, especially in the early 2000s, since the rise of having phones and the advances of phones as well, that the depression, lack of motivation, and isolation has increased so much over I guess two now, over the 2 decades to now. And it's not good, because over time, if we if, or not we, but people don't start taking these matters seriously, I think even now it's a very huge problem, but I think it could be a lot worse problem in the future, because I can tell back in the day a lot more people were more interactive, and people used to go out, and people used to go um, have face to face interactions. And as time has went on, less and less and less face-to-face interaction happen. More people are being online, more people be on the game by themselves in the room, and less people are interacting with other people. And it just it just sucks to see that go. And this has you can also see this in schools too, where a lot of people are starting wanting to take more of the online route instead of go to in person, because they have gained this introverted path where they just feel like they don't belong, or they don't feel safe to go out anymore, or they don't feel comfortable being with other people because of what's going on, because of these platforms that are happening. And I think, you know, that with the right help, and maybe this message getting out to the CEOs of this platform, that maybe they can make a difference, and maybe they can somehow, or just, you know, I don't know exactly what they could do, but they could find a solution to help better this way. Because, like I said, it's not just affecting like themselves, like with them being by themselves, but with people going to school. People like are less interactive at school. People even at work, people um are not wanting to work anymore, or people are just in general. I feel like in general, people are not wanting to be out or interact with people. Now people are scared to do the simplest things. People are scared to go out and say go grocery shopping, say go let's say a young teen who has little responsibilities, like go to the bank and go make some changes to their account, which they can do on their own, but they're so scared because they have gained this insecurity of going out, and they would rather have their, I guess, parents right next to the side. And I feel like back in the day, a lot of people were more confident and able to go out and do things on their own because they weren't affected by these social media platforms. They weren't being held back because they had to go and interact with people. They had no choice but to go do it. And I think that's the problem with today. People have a choice to go sit back behind their phone, behind the computer, and just be behind the screen and feel safe in their little cocoon, instead of like embracing it and just exploring, just go out and exploring themselves, and embracing the great, I guess, thing we have with humans. That because us humans, we are social creatures. We are meant to be with other people. We are not meant to be alone. Like that's the one thing we're not meant to do. We are meant to be with other people. And I think with the right, you know, with the right help and the right, you know, people start, I think people overlook this problem, and they think, oh, he just likes, you know, he just by himself. But they don't see deep down, if someone's quiet and stuff, they don't maybe see what he's going through. Maybe he's depressed and no one's noticing that, or he just likes being by himself. Maybe it's good to see that, like, well, let me just go talk to him and see how his day's going. Let me ask him how he is. Maybe just start noticing the little thing and just asking them about how, you know, maybe just start by asking how their day is, how are they, and maybe they start opening up, or just start paying attention to these people that are being involved. And maybe that we can somehow, you know, convince, not convince, but prove that social media is not bad, but for the moment it is, and that we can change the, or the owners of these platforms can somehow make improvements on their their apps, so somehow they can limit these negative impacts that are having on us people today. And yeah, so that's all I wanted to talk about today, and thank you for listening and tuning in. I'll see y'all later. Bye.